So I have to ask. I know the answer to this. I know anybody who knows PLR knows the answer to this. Saints and Bears.
Did she ask me that question?
I have to ask.
She's obligated, yes.
Obligated? What is this, Underworld? I like it. The Bears are going to win.
All right. Seahawks and Rams.
The Seahawks are going to win because Rams don't have a quarterback.
Okay. Washington Buccaneers.
Okay. So WFT could play some defense. And I saw Tom Brady go into Chicago, and the Bears defense pushed him up the middle, and he was not able to step into anything. And he struggled to the point where he forgot when it was fourth down. The Washington football team, they're playing better defense than the Bears did then. I think Tampa Bay will win by a little bit just because of their weapons, but they're going to have a hard time scoring on Washington. That defense is no joke, and Chase Young is real. So
yes, that front four is incredible. Yeah. That's a great front four they have in Washington.
Yeah. So I just think they have just too much. So yeah, give me Tampa.
And the Ravens.
Who?
The AFC Titans and Ravens. Is it going to be Ed's dark horse?
Titans are my dark horse, bro.
Man, well, they got a defensive end playing running back. But then Baltimore has a dynamic quarterback. But then Tannehill learned how to pass. But then A. Brown can catch deep passes easy. But then Marquise Brown can run really fast. But then the defense of Baltimore is real tough.
And then Baltimore can run the ball too.
Yeah, but then sometimes Baltimore goes in a scoring funk, but Tennessee's defense and their pass rush isn't so good. Man, it's a tough game. In Tennessee, Derrick Henry, though, dude. Cat needed 230 yards to get 2,000 and probably ran for that on the first possession. Give me Tennessee. Give me Tennessee in an upset.
How about Steelers and the Browns?
Give me the Browns in an upset.
Then the last one, Bills and Colts.
I have no faith in the Colts whatsoever. I have no faith in Phillip Rivers at all, whatsoever. None. He'll throw an interception with 2 minutes to go in the game. So give me Buffalo.
True story.
Buffalo's gonna be a tough out. They can run. Diggs is crazy good. He is crazy good. And Beasley just catching those little 7-yard passes, coming across the middle. Singletary with the safety net. I like Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to be just a tough out for anybody.
And it seems like Buffalo's the team to beat in the AFC.
I didn't say that. I said they're a tough out. There's a dude that ain't playing this weekend. He's an alien.
I'm the one saying it. I'm not putting any words into PLR's mouth, but I'm the one saying it.
Yeah, they're good.
And until you knock off the world champions, they are the team to beat.
This dude, they said, didn't have a great season. And what's Kansas City's record again?
14-2?
Mm-hmm. And he didn't play this Sunday.
No.
They rested him. And
Chad Henne played, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he still threw over 30 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he still threw a bunch of yards. And anybody else would be MVP with those numbers. But we're comparing him to him. So, no. Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick, you throw for 4,700, almost 5,000 yards, and you take your team to a 14-2 record and the number one seed in the AFC. But,
All right.
Yeah, he had an all right year.
Yeah, all right.
But he potentially could hoist another Lombardi. He possibly could. He's very good. And he's got weapons. Travis Kelce, the number two yardage guy as far as wide receivers and tight ends. Kelce is he's a stud.
Yeah.
My gosh. And Tyreek and Edwards-Helaire, the rookie, man, just reload the champions, right?
They're good. They're real good.
Yep.
I can't believe the regular season is done. We're through it. And they managed to pull this season off.
Crazy, right?
Yep.
Because the Ravens got hit, the Titans got hit, the Steelers got hit, the Browns got hit toward the end of the season.
Yeah, they had no wide receiver room whatsoever for a game.
Yeah.
You still on?
The Saints had no running backs against Carolina.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. They still rolled them.
It's just crazy. This season is absolutely nuts. But I will say this. All the way through, it was an entertaining season.
Yes.
All the way through, from the coaching carousels down to the Cardinals. And I believe what I called the Cardinals was the most exciting yet depressing team I watched all year, because they gave you the biggest high only to not be able to close the deal. And I think that roller coaster that they had everyone on was quite a ride. And you can look at so many positives. But, if you get home and you order a hamburger and you get home and you only got 2 buns and there's no meat in the middle, no matter how good they say the restaurant is, you still aren't satisfied. So I think that's what the Cardinals gave us. They gave us, a good restaurant in terms of ambiance, and the wait was good, the staff was good, everything was good. We got our to-go order, we left our tip. We did everything right. Then we get home, we dig in a bag, the fries are there, the shake is over there. We go for the burger, we open up the bun, and there's nothing in the middle. And so nothing else even matters. And I think that's how their season kind of came around with the playoffs. Nothing else really mattered, because at the end, they didn't get in. And even though they gave us Kyler and they gave us Hopkins and they gave us Buddha, there's still so much stuff that was left out that it just doesn't feel satisfying at the end of the day.
Yeah, especially when you start 5-2. Then after the bye week, they just completely went downhill. You lose 6 out of 9, and then you're out of the playoffs. You held your own destiny. Last week against the 49ers, you couldn't close it. Sunday against the Rams, you were inept. You had nothing to do, had nothing going offensively. You were down Christian Kirk, and Larry Fitzgerald wasn't there. You lose Kyler Murray. You lose your focal point on offense, and just against that number 1 defense, you knew the Rams just feasted on that. They were like, okay, cool. Kyler's not in. Oh yeah, we're gonna pin our ears back. It's on now.
Yeah, and it was kind of depressing because the Cardinals gave you a bunch of games that they shouldn't have won that they won. Against Buffalo and the Hail Murray. But then the games that you have to win, the ones that separate the playoff teams from the non-playoff teams, you can't lose San Francisco. You just can't lose that game. And that's the game you lose. You lose to the Rams with no quarterback. That's a game you can't lose.
Yeah, you can't go to New England and lose. Because Cam has no weapons. They should have beat the Patriots. But Zane Gonzalez misses a field goal, and then the Patriots go down and kick a field goal and win it. You can't lose off your special teams.
Out of all the things to bring up, why would you bring up the ASU kicker? There you go being indignant again. Out of all the things that happened, but all the things that happened in that game, out of all the things that happened in the game that they could have won the game on, you go right to the indignatory and point out a Sun Devil. So here we go again with that nonsense. See, this is the type of nonsense we had 3 weeks ago on the Cave Show when we were talking about the playoff bound Bears. This is that same type of indignatory. And so the Cardinals don't get in, and we could focus on a whole bunch of stuff. We don't even have to go all the way back to New England. But when we go back to New England, we forget completely about how they didn't satisfy or capitalize on third downs. We forget how they didn't put the ball in the end zone. But what do we go to? Oh, no. We got to go right to the Sun Devil missing. And let's be honest, if the line had blocked, the kick would have been good. So here we go with the indignatories again. Here we go again. I don't understand this.
Hey, should we go back to cutting mics off again? Remember those days? Get out of control if you want.
Mute the mics. Oh, goodness.
Indignatory.
So before we get into any more of that indignatory, and probably, or maybe get a little bit into it before we can get out of it. 2020. Let's talk a little 2020. I want to get a little recap in here on the last part of the show. 2020, the year that it was, let's talk about it, brush it off, move on, and look ahead into 2021. Before we can do that, we have to talk a little bit, look back and rewind. So we had what our friend PLR likes to call it, the devil, or we have the devil, out there, COVID. We had it put a stop to sports. We all had our major withdrawals. Sports came back little by little. We're, there's still those effects of it. We've had baseball, MLB. We had the World Series. We had what was the NBA, the season, putting a stop to it, coming back and having the bubble and having that playoff run. Now having NBA start back up. It was nice little Christmas gift from the NBA. We have NFL, no training, no preseason per se, and just going into the season. We have it. They were able to pull it off. But just so much that has happened in sports. We've had some major losses. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, and so many other names that we can throw out there, major, greats that we've lost throughout the year. Just so much has happened. So I have to ask some of these questions to you guys. And I want to get, what was your most unforgettable sports moment of 2020, PLR?
Wow. That one kind of caught me off guard. I got to think of that for a minute. 2020 sports moment. I'm going to defer to Ed for that one because I got to think about that for a minute.
I know that's a tough one, Mike. That's you can go so many different directions with that. Well, I guess Kobe would probably be one of my most unforgettable. I remember where I was when the news came out and I saw it on Twitter, and my father-in-law texted me about Kobe, and he was like, "Did you hear that Kobe passed away?" And I immediately went to Twitter and read that, and then I just got on all the sites, the 4-letter and everywhere else. And that just dominated everything. Once the news of Kobe's passing and everyone else that perished in that plane crash, to me, that's probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, the moments for me that didn't have to do with anybody that was actually playing a sport, whether it's any of the 4 sports. But losing Kobe was probably the biggest moment for me because of what he meant to the National Basketball Association, to the WNBA, to all the fans who loved the NBA and WNBA, and just people that couldn't really even get into basketball. Just people that knew what Kobe was and what he stood for and what he brought to the Los Angeles Lakers and what he did to transcend the game of basketball. I mean, he was bigger than life. And to lose a hero like that, a lot of people looked up to Kobe as a hero. A lot of kids looked up to Kobe they loved him. Number 8, number 24. They loved Kobe and they lost their hero. That's one of the biggest moments for me.
I'll go with something, because that was just a crazy moment. So I'll do something positive that gives more of a positive thought, because I don't think it's hard. I think it's, for a lot of us, it's still even hard to watch some Kobe film. You know what I mean? So just because of everything that happened. So I'll go with something simple. My White Sox made the playoffs. And for a lot of people, like if you're a Diamondbacks fan, and I'll just be honest, if you're a Diamondbacks fan, over the last few years, even though, neither team, and I'm obviously a huge fan of the Diamondbacks, they don't win every year, but every year they're competitive. Some way or another. Obviously this year was a different year. But considering ever since Ozzie Guillen left the White Sox, they have basically not been a competitive team, and the team decided to go into a complete rebuild. And so to see the team with the young guys and the pitching, the no-hitter that we had this year, and getting the MVP this year, and having a young Anderson at shortstop this year, or Tim Anderson playing in that infield, it for the first time in this city in 10 years, it's like I had some baseball hope, so I'll take that along with the other great moment in the year of sports. It